Ixim is really deeply based in longstanding communities. The first community is Our Lady of Guadalupe, and Assumption Guadalupe in South Omaha. Father Damien Zerline was pastor there in the early 2000s. And when he was there, he started to think about ways that he could connect the people in West Omaha, and in communities in West Omaha with the lives of those in South Omaha, and the realities that they faced that often led to them coming to the United States and starting fresh here. And so he knew someone from Guatemala, from the diocese where we visit in Guatemala, and that man was a former seminarian and had some connections with that diocese, and invited Father to go down with him to see the reality that he came from. And as he was there, he met the Bishop of Huehuetenango, and Father Damien came back with this idea of finding a connection. And it started with St. Vincent de Paul, another somewhat new but still long-standing community in West Omaha, offering to maybe be a sister parish. But then the Bishop of Huehuetenango suggested that we should instead become a diocese to diocese connection. So the mission trip, I think the biggest thing to understand is it comes from this call to solidarity that started with Pope John Paul II, when he asked that people from the countries like ours, with a lot of wealth, develop connections with Catholics from countries where there isn't as much wealth, and that we get to know each other in a unique and special way. And so that's really the focus of the trip. We work in schools, we do medical clinics, but the real work is one of presence and relationship building. And so that's been something new, that even folks who might have previously lived here but have moved away, or had a connection with the Notre Dame sisters in the past that are watching this but have retired or gone on different parts of life, they're more than welcome to join us, as this unique experience is a kind of experience I have not seen in other archdioceses. Mission is done in different ways in a lot of places, and this is a unique type of.
I have been involved in Ixim since 2003. I think one of the major parts of Ixim is the trip. It's usually about around a 2-week trip that we invite people to go with us to Guatemala. It's a interdiocesan solidarity kind of program, which is real different than anything I've ever done before, where it isn't, we're as a Archdiocese of Omaha connected with the Diocese of Huehuetenango in Guatemala. And so the trip is a big thing, but it's not the only thing that's about Ixim. And a lot of people are introduced to Ixim through the trip, and for the number of people, that's kind of a stepping off place in their service and in their ministry, to learn more of what it is to be a brother and sister in the Catholic Church and in the world. So the trip is big. The other things, though, that we do, we have many services or a number of services and ministries in conjunction with Guatemala, with Huehuetenango. So they have a leadership group and we have a leadership group. And so, for example, we meet every month bilingually on Zoom to plan. So the two leadership groups plan together. We work together when we're down there. They give to us, we give to them, and not just giving things, but joining in them. So we don't make all the decisions, we make them together. And that's a real different aspect than I have had experiences with other groups. So we have activities here with things like we sell coffee, because that's our main sale, and we sell that coffee here to make money for Ixim. We do a lot of speaking at parishes and groups to talk about Ixim and make it known. We have a Spirits and Solidarity. It's kind of a conviviality of the people here in Omaha who consider themselves part of, or in the Omaha Diocese, consider themselves part of the Ixim. We have a summer picnic with the local people who are from Guatemala. And we have at Christmas, the Las Posadas is a joint preparation for Christmas with the people here. And then we have a Lenten series for the what we call the Anglo part of Ixim for during Lent, of a prayerful program. And we also have a bilingual prayer service every 2 months with the group in Huehuetenango. And that's led one time by us and one time by them. This year we participated in a lot of COVID work, especially in the early days before the commercial masks came out. We gathered people from here in Omaha to make masks, and then we couldn't send them down there, but we took them to Grand Island, where they were needing some for the people in jail there. So and then we also did some financial help with people who were struggling with the COVID, and we did an educational program that teaching people how to be safe in COVID. And then we also had a very successful thing, I thought, during COVID immunization, where we worked, and that's another part of Ixim, we work with other groups. So we partnered with One World and 2 Catholic churches in South Omaha, and we provided 4 clinics for the immunizations during COVID.
My involvement started in 2015 when my husband and I started going to Ixim meetings for people who were interested in going to Guatemala. Because one of the things that we do while we're there is we have a medical clinic. And so I worked in the pharmacy area, the medical clinic, with 2 or 3 other people. A lot of people have problems with their stomachs because of the water that they were drinking. The water there is not clean water. It is bitter, bad tasting. It's hard to get the children to drink the water. So they put sugar in it, which causes another problem because it causes problems with their teeth. So one of the things that we've done is taught the importance of clean water, and then supplied many of the areas with and people with home water systems so that the water that they have will be clean. Very happy that we were able to go on this trip and to continue to go on different trips. And the service that we provide for others has been amazing to us. And we're just very, very happy that we can do that type of thing.
So I went on the trip in 2018. Okay. Prior to that, I had heard about it from a fellow parishioner. Ixim is us. It's not us and them, it's us. We're all together. We're very immersed in working together in solidarity with the people in Huehuetenango and the people of Guatemala. So I believe that Ixim is doing it right. And I don't see myself ever not being a part of it as long as God allows me to be a part of it.
Well, to me, hospitality is a sacred value. It's very important. It's a part of, if you read through the Gospels and you hear about the openness that Christ has for the stranger, for those who might be unwelcome, and the call to open our hearts, even in this week's past gospel. It's about loving one another, that people will know Christians by how they love one another. And sometimes in our culture in the United States, we've lost that sense of hospitality. We might go to a place where you're so welcome, where you're welcome in such a way that is almost shocking compared to, if you think, wow, when I have people over, I have to do all these things to prepare and have everything be perfect, and I have to have the best of everything. And we get the best of everything, but it seems like so little, but yet people aren't afraid of that. They're not afraid of just saying, this is what I have, and what I have is yours, even though it is so little. That experience is just shocking. It's so countercultural to what we are used to. Anyone in the Archdiocese is welcome to join and be a part of this. The Archbishop has gone on the trip himself and just speaks to that transformational experience and hopes as many people as possible will go. And it's as simple as going to ixim.org and sending an email or sending a message to start that conversation about joining the trip.